mind maps. I use mind maps because I hate writing things. I'm heavily dyslexic. Yeah, but it's better than when I started off in IT, I had to write everything down in large reports that nobody ever understood, and then you'd pass it on and then have to explain to people what the reports did. All right, so I'm Scott. My Twitter account is AgilePapi. Please, I'm on LinkedIn as well. Please link in. I'm going to be here till about 12, so I'm happy to answer any questions you've got, and then after that I'll be on Twitter, so if you've got anything you want to know. Why am I here? Well, I worked at Tesco Bank, did apps and mobile development and things, very much focused on Tesco's customers. I don't know if you know about Tesco's customer base, but it's like 25% of the country. Yeah, so it's lots of thinking about customers. The apps we did there were on driving. Yeah, driving. So insurance apps that would measure your geolocation and measure your driving, and if you're a good driver, you got cheaper insurance. So it's very new technology, good fun. For years I worked in the NHS, so a lot of the larger projects there, the National English Booking System, again, customers. So everything I'm going to say, I'm going to underline the word customers to you, okay? And everything you do and everything you develop at the weekend, you need to think about customers, customer journeys. So some of the biggest civil projects in the world I've worked on, led. I'm now working at Clydesdale Bank. I'm their Lean Agile coach, helping them change the development practices away from waterfall practices over to agile practices. I've worked at, I think Concur is one of the world's largest software as a service companies, just sold to SAP for $1 billion or something, not far off $1 billion. Worked with them, set up places in Manila and everything else. Again, looking at the customer base, and you can boo now. I used to work at student loans, so when tuition fees came in, their systems weren't able to cope. So I came in and I did a kind of catch up, or else there was a concern that we wouldn't be able to do the processing. So that's me. So I do know what I'm talking about. I'm going to talk about storyboarding, okay, and I'm going to show you how to do storyboarding. And Megan's going to help as well. And what I want you to do when you're thinking about your products is think about storyboards. I take it you all know storyboards. Has anyone ever heard of it? You heard? So if you haven't heard of it, put your hand up. Cool. Right. Excellent. So we do this quite quickly. Important things to say. Storyboarding didn't start in IT. Storyboarding started in places like movies. So how much do you think the last Star Wars movie cost?
100 million.
306 million. My fact checker is my daughter there, who looked it up on Wikipedia on the way here. So,
sorry, could you move your mic onto your t-shirt?
Yeah. Sure. I probably don't need a mic, but. Is that better?
Yeah.
Cool. Right, so Star Wars, 306 million. How many minutes in a Star Wars movie? How many minutes in a Star Wars movie?
120. No, more than that. 2 hours 25.
A little bit less. But so how much per minute?
Oh.
2 million. Yeah. So if you're doing 2 million per minute and you're going to film that and you're going to try and get that return back, what you want to do is make sure each of those minutes is actually going to make you money. Yeah. So lots of movies, can get caught up in the story and get caught up in what the writers wanted or what the movie makers wanted, or you can get movies like Baron Munchausen where the set gets flooded and moves away. So storyboarding is a way before you spend any money, before you spend get the set out, crew out to the middle of the Sahara Desert, before you hire even the stars, is for you to look at what's important. The other reason about storyboarding is important is because you guys are working in teams. Yeah. So you guys and your teams, you know each other well or not well?
Just met last night.
Yeah. So one of the techniques I'm going to show you with the storyboarding is, so people in teams, right? Sometimes people are dominant and sometimes people are less dominant. Sometimes people have definite ideas. And sometimes people have be a bit more introverted. So as well as doing the stories, I want you all to vote for what you think the most important story is. Right, because the last thing you want to do is get to the end of your hackathon, have the feedback from the judges coming back, and you think, I thought that too. But I didn't mention it on Saturday morning before we kind of coded. I did a hackathon for the Law Society for my friend Arlene 2 months ago, and really what I'm going to tell you is what I told them. And my brief there was, brief them in a way that if they follow this out, they're going to win the hackathon. Yeah. So everything I'm telling you here has got value because it'll help you win. Okay. At that hackathon, actually, some people took this on board and some people didn't. And if you actually looked at the rankings, the ones that did best, were the ones that took this on board. Okay, so why storyboard? Yeah, the other thing is avoid waste. There's going to be some good ideas you've got that are excellent ideas, but you're going to have to kill them. I call that kill your children. No offense. Thomas, just telling you. You're not going to have enough time in the hackathon to do everything. Yeah. So what you're going to have to do is work out as a group, work out the ones that you think are going to have most value. Storyboards are also excellent for communicating to users. I'm not sure, the guy's able to get some users in the session, Alan, or?
We're hoping to have some service users visiting today.
Cool.
And also there's an opportunity to go to the retail stores in the
Yeah.
town that the group that you may be dropping by.
So you could actually take your storyboard to the retail centre, because these things are very portable. We're talking about post-it stickers. Yeah. Or when someone's in, you can actually talk them through the storyboard. So we're humans, we're monkeys, we like to sit around fires and tell stories. Yeah. So nobody's going to get excited about your product before you built it, unless you can tell a good story. So this will also help you communicate with your users. The other thing is your head's in a different place from your user base. Unless anyone here is homeless. I'm not homeless. I couldn't even put my head into how someone would use, some of these access and services. So again, getting that feedback, getting that voting, really important. Next thing I'm going to tell you about is personas. Have you used personas before? Yeah, so personas are great. You guys, what's the name of your user? And how many different types of users have you got and what are their names?
His name's John.
Yeah, tell me about John.
John's homeless. He's a rough sleeper. Actually, no, he's in temp. He's got alcohol problems and anger management issues. Always forgets to pick up his meds.
So at least you haven't stereotyped him.
Well, he's modelled off someone we work with.
It's okay. I think we've all worked with John. Yeah, but what to do is, now, that's one persona. Take your product and measure it out for more personas, right? Yeah, there might be, I don't know, Jamie, who's fell out with his parents, yeah, and has kind of came to Edinburgh because he wanted to get away from Oktamukti. And if you've ever been to Oktamukti, it would be quite understandable. So try and think more diverse. And this is one of the things that we did at Tesco Bank. We didn't kind of think that every one of our users was a middle class white, latest version of Android user. We didn't think that all the access points, would be on the, anything you could buy. A genius would sell you in an Apple store. So think normal people. So one of the things I would do as well when you're talking to people, or try and hit the research and data, is get multiple personas. Yeah. The multiple personas will let you look at which features each of those persona people will use. Now, when you're feeding back at the end of your hackathon, you can say, here's our persona. We've built this system for this persona, but we know there's other personas and they're further down the product tree. So again, when you come back, don't just say, this is what I came up with in 2 days. Say, this is what I came up with in 2 days and this is where this could go. And these are the things that I know we would need, but we haven't had the ability or time to do it. But with more funding, with more backing, we can do that. So yeah, I'm a great believer in social anthropology. I'm trying to get the name business analyst changed to social anthropologist. There's a chap called Richard Sheridan who runs an IT company out in the States who wrote the book The Joy at Work. Anyone ever read it? Oh, you really should. Best book ever. I think he did the Lean Scotland last year, so I think it's still in the Lean Agile Scotland. His speech is still there, so you can go and look at it. But he's got babies and dogs and everything else at work. He's got such a nice workplace. Because we're human, yeah. So the other thing I would say is, as you're working in your team, just be as human as you want to be. Yeah, think human. Yeah. Prioritization. This is the next thing. You're not going to be able to do everything. Yeah. Roadmaps are great, especially if you're trying to get backing for something, because everyone knows you're not going to be able to do everything in 2 days. If you looked at the Tesco Bank app we did, that was like 6 months. If you look at some of the the larger apps you'll use in the high street, they could be a year or so. So everyone knows in 2 days you're not going to do everything, but a roadmap, that roadmap could be a few post-it stickers, doesn't have to be anything complicated. Okay, we'll talk about the dot voting. So all the features there, you vote on the priority. If you can get service users to vote on the priority as well, even better. And at the end of the hackathon, tell the complete story. Use your storyboard to tell the story as well. So here's the app, but here's how it fits into what we're thinking in the larger picture. It's going to help you visualize. It's going to help you teamwork. So I just came in today, I don't know anything about what you're doing or what you're working on. See if you had a storyboard here, there's plenty of space to do them. You could walk me over and say, here's what we're trying to do, here's the steps, here's our journey, here's what we think we're going to do. And it's easy to tell because you're all working on computers and things. And when you walk in, it just seems like several teams of people tapping away at computers. Got that? Right, I'm going to show you how to do a storyboard now, and you're going to help me? Come on. Any questions on that before I go on?
You're going to leave that up.
That's up. Right. I want you, Megan, to imagine, right? You are going to an interview on Monday morning, right? I want you to write up everything you do from waking up, to leaving the house. Do you need small stickers?
I'll manage.
This hasn't been set up or practiced to that. Did anyone want to shout to Megan anything we would do? So, alarms, You want to set an alarm. Do you want to help as well? Just, a lot of these are pretty obvious. Are you going to brush your teeth? I'll use the same colour, it might be easier.
My routine or just help Megan with hers?
Oh, just help them. Come up with a joint routine. Again, the beauty of storyboarding is you can discuss it. There's a reason there's 2 of you is we'll do it quicker because you've got it.
Messages.
Now, the other thing, catch a Pokemon,
There's no Pokemon at my house.
I got a Pokemon this morning. Right. Come on, keep going.
Okay, check messages. Wash face.
Shower, yeah. What else do you guys do in the morning? Cup of tea or coffee? Yeah. I've actually got a Tassimo coffee machine next to my bed. Really? Before the shower. No, it's true. Don't I? Yeah. If you want to know the workflow, it's get up to go to the toilet, press the machine on the Tassimo, go to the toilet, come back, have my coffee. Yeah.
You do make a coffee here.
Go brush your teeth, have you?
Oh, not yet. There's an order.
Do number 3.
Bye. Pack your bag.
That's it. Do number 3.
Sorry?
Do number 3.
That's number 3.
1 and a 2.
But you can apply the agile methodology to not just soften it up.
And then leave. Okay. Done.
All right. I will. Come on, tell us about what you're doing. Is this in an order, first of all? Right? So tell everyone.
Journey.
So these are your service users. Okay. Have a word with them just to say, and explain to them you getting up in the morning for this job interview, and then ask them if you've missed anything.
Okay, so wake up, turning alarms off, check messages, so email, text, wash my face because I can't actually think before I shock myself into going. Then take a shower, get dressed, have breakfast, makeup done, hair done, teeth, pack bag, and then shoes and socks after work. Yeah.
Okay.
Miss out the makeup.
Yeah.
You know, we've got foundation.
It's never too late.
Really.
So is there any step?
Suggesting I'm not really that beautiful enough.
Oh, I'm not. I know I'm not. I'm thinking of dyeing my hair. I'm getting too. My hair is now older than I am, which is worrying me. So anything anyone does isn't there.
I wouldn't do the hair either.
Yeah. No, that's a different question. Anything?
Probably check the location of the, like, where I'm going again. Like,
Yeah, like the third time.
Check the bus schedule.
Check the. Yeah, check
Do
the.
that in the car, on the bus.
I would do that before I left, just to know how quickly I had to go do the rest. So maybe do that when you were checking your messages. I did that this morning. I kind of.
Check if I've missed the bus.
I checked to make sure.
Alright, so like
Yeah, I checked to make sure Codebase was where Codebase was when I walked past the door and I saw Codebase on the sign. All right, cool. Anything else we've missed?
take vitamins or meds.
Hmm?
Take vitamins or
Yeah.
medication in the mornings as well.
Oh yeah. I take my.
Put the radio, switch the radio on.
I get the news. It's another one.
Check what's on.
Make sure
Don't
you've
miss
got
anything.
change if you're taking the bus.
Oh yeah, money. Or Oyster cards or Android Pay or whatever we're doing nowadays. Okay, cool.
And check if you've packed everything that you need.
Yeah.
Take a lunch.
Recheck everything you packed the night before. This is the one before an interview. Yeah. I would also put.
Check my laptop's charged and my mobile's charged.
And I've got the presentation.
Run back up the stairs to pick up the jacket or the lunch that's still in the fridge.
So I've got another one. Reply to the text from your friend wishing me good luck for the interview. Yeah.
Check that lecture wearing different
Wearing
clothes
clothes.
different clothes from yesterday. change your wife rock.
Go over how many people saw you yesterday.
Smell your socks. See if they're okay to do 2 days. Yeah.
Change the socks as well.
Right.
About here.
Check the weather forecast.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Are you dressed appropriately? Do you have your brolly? Okay. Cool. Right. I'm going to stop there for a second. Right. So what you guys did was a perfectly good list of things that would have got you out the door. We then went to wider group. This is the wisdom of crowds thing. Have you ever heard of the wisdom of crowds, the theory? Anyone? The wisdom of crowds. So it's a scientist, I forget his name, back in the 1800s, worked out that if you ever put a cake to have the weight measured by a large group of people, if you averaged all the results, you always got the exact weight of the cake. Yeah. So no one person would get the weight of the cake. But if you got like 200 people to guess the weight of the cake and you averaged it, it was always the exact weight of the cake. So we call it the wisdom of crowds. Groups of people are better. So I think you probably got 50% more tickets than you had. Okay, so that's one technique, right? Ask your user base. The next one I'm going to do is, have you all got pens? I'm going to give you all 3 dots. I want everyone to go up there, right? And mark the cards you think are most important to you. You can put 3 dots on 1 card. You can put 1 dot on 3 cards. Yeah, 3 separate cards. Right, go and do it now. We don't have much time. Everyone. So I should have probably said no more than 3. You don't have to do 3. We're quite relaxed, really. Hi, son. You all right?
Yeah.
Good. You're on camera. Oh, that one.
Is this what I did at school when we try to vote on something? We do who has as many dots as important.
Yeah, it's prioritization.
Again, it seems really important, but it's in your almost your
Yeah.
I put 3 dots on teeth. Got a subconscious on my teeth. It's scary.
Best option.
Interview, yeah.
Bad
Yep.
breath are really bad thing. Yeah. Oral hygiene.
Peppermints. Yeah.
Oral hygiene is very important. And dress sense is non-existent. Shower's optional. I haven't had a bath for maybe 7 months in. I like more natural sweat.
Cool.
Halitosis. Halitosis is horrible.
Right, thanks for doing that. So our first use case was doing this on the day that you had an interview. That's usually the day you're suited and booted and groomed, right? The next thing we're going to ask the girls to do, Megan, Shona, I forgot Shona. Thank you, Shona and Megan. I want you to imagine that it's a different day now. It's Saturday morning. You're coming along at code base, right? And you've slept through your alarm, okay? Because you're going to hackathon. You might have had too much to drink the night before. You've woken up. You realise you have to be here at 9, and it's now 9:10. Okay? Everything that you would do in that scenario, I want you to put in the top row. I want you to try and keep the order as well. Yeah. Underneath it, everything that you wouldn't do in that scenario, we'll draw a line. I forgot to pen. No, that's a Sharpie. If I draw a line in a fringe, friends don't write on Sharpies on whiteboards. Right. Okay. So this is your kind of I've slept in. This is your oh shit line. So go and do your oh shit ones.
So we can just pull them down.
Yep. And then we're going to ask your user base to see if you did it right.
Yeah, your alarm's missed already.
Maybe you didn't miss breakfast because you couldn't get breakfast on the boat.
No, you can't miss breakfast.
Now, can I get a boy to do this? Right. So in agile terms, what I'm going to call this is the minimum, let's call it the minimum marketable product. So that's the minimum product that you could take to market and someone could get a use out of it. Yeah, and that use is if you were really late on a Saturday morning and you weren't that fussed about things. This is imagine this is your investors here, right? Right, investors, what do you think? Do you think we need to spend money? Each of these are going to cost money to do, let's say. So do you think these are all really minimum?
Do we need breakfast?
Yes.
I think you could have breakfast down there. You could have had a sandwich here.
Just drawing my light here. Not
Right.
gonna lie.
Come on, what else?
Really don't need her.
Wash face.
Shower's optional.
Yeah, if you want to work in technology, hair's not a thing. I'm like 1 month away from a hair. I should have had the haircut. Okay, what else? What was that one?
Wash face, hair adjustment.
Shoes and socks. You have to have shoes on. I know that one.
But nobody voted for it.
Well, it's part of get dressed.
Yeah, it's a subset of get dressed. There you go. Okay. Okay. What meds? Nobody really wants to take meds. That's
I guess it depends if people aren't actually taking meds. Like, I
Yeah.
think for people who do need to take medication, that's probably a really important one.
yeah.
I'd rather be alive than late.
Yeah.
So the other one that your investor group here didn't really rate at all was washing your face. Should we get rid of it?
I guess it's part of shower.
Hmm?
It's part of shower.
Yeah, we could.
Oh, this is emergency, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Unless you've got panda eyes. I'll let you off in the panda eyes thing. Depending how late you were out in the.
The smoky eye look.
Yeah. Okay. So get dressed, take your meds if you need to take meds. If you don't need to take meds, don't take meds. Brush your teeth. Again, someone said oral hygiene, very important. Definitely. Thank you for your brushing your teeth this morning. And making sure you got the money to get here for the artisan coffee outside. Okay, rank the rest of them now. Okay. So this is kind of like dressing. This is like a bit of preparation. That's cleanliness. That's a bit of cleanliness, and that's just a bit of prep. So what else would get under the kind of getting dressed bit?
I guess shower, stuff like that. That's
Yeah,
all kind of
that could all come under. That's all very similar.
Yeah.
So washing your face is probably more important than having a shower. Okay. What I would say is anything that your investor community has put a lot of dots on, you probably want to have higher up.
Wow.
Yeah, you girls are too clean. Check location, that's probably in over here towards the preppy bit. Okay. Cool. Now, you guys could have spent 28 quid on the How to Do Storyboarding book. And if you came out of the How to Do Storyboarding book after you'd read it for 10 hours, you'd have came out with something like that. All right? That's much easier to talk to a potential investor, a potential user, a potential customer. Right? So we've done this round in 10 minutes. It didn't take long. Right? We've got a nice visualization we can show people. We've actually done some voting and prioritization. Okay, and it's been very easy to explain just what you were doing. Okay, didn't need that much knowledge or learning. Yeah, what I would say is when you're doing your apps, do your journey a bit more like a movie. So the things at the beginning of the movie at the beginning, and things at the end. But you get a nice flow, you get a nice prioritization. You know you need to code the bits at the top first. Then you work down. If you've got feedback from people and they prioritize the higher, code that first. And then everything else below becomes your roadmap. So when you do your presentation, do a slide. These are the things that we'd like to do, we didn't get to do, but we know with more funding we could do it. And okay. You could almost do these with different personas, because obviously, we had Megan and Shona there, who are very into face washing. We might have another persona of Scott. Maybe not so much. All right. Is that simple? Yeah, you can use a board. You can go to storyboard.com and download the free app. Other apps are available. You could use PowerPoint. I've seen this done in PowerPoint, right? Very powerful communication when you're getting back. Any questions?
It's all about prioritization. It's all
Yep.
about kind of getting a sequential
Yeah.
timeline.
Yep.
And then, you know exactly then, hopefully, what's going to happen at the final.
So if you coded the top bit, come Sunday you'll have something to show, right? And I always think in hackathons, working code will get you more points than anything else. Yeah. But at least you've done the thought and the prioritization, and you've done the research on the stuff you'd like to do next. Okay. What I've seen in other hackathons is everyone tries to do all the tickets. Yeah. And without checking to see what other people think are valuable, you could end up spending a day, working on face washing, and then find out nobody really wanted it. So that's why I'm telling you to do this, because it will help you with your engagement at the end of the hackathon, and it will help you with your story and your roadmap. Okay. The most important thing for you guys to do is to get on and code, which is why I'm doing this really short. How hard was this to do, Megan? Yeah, so I'm going to leave this up. I'm going to leave the points on the other side up. There's tons of post-it stickers and pens and things. Yeah, but maybe you just want to do it on a piece of paper. That works too, right? Okay, but I would say get on as a team. Start talking about this. Start talking about your flow of your product. Start prioritizing. Start working on what you can deliver first. Right? Always have your roadmap up. Try and get people in from the user group to talk about this. And to get them to agree with your journeys or not. Actually, that's the wrong wording. Don't get them to agree with your journeys. Get their feedback on your journeys to come up with a journey they agree with. All right? And then you'll have a really good outcome to this.
Scott, you're going to be around for another hour, is that right?
I'll be here till 12.
Cool.
Around then.
So if you guys think you might want to set up storyboard, grab Scott before you